Welcome back to the Firestorm game Steamroller. I'm glad to be here with Ryan Evans for round number 2. I'm David Williams.
Hello, welcome back guys. So we've got Martyn Jenkins, who's one of the Welsh boys, rocking his circle again, so he's back on Krueger2. He paired that with Krueger2 today, just been chatting with him about his list. And then Anthony, who's one of my lovable yet despicable locals, running Cygnar with the fun pairing of Haley3, Kane3. So he's opted to drop Haley3 into this game. I think Anthony won the roll-off and he chose to go second because the plan spread the net.
Yep. So he'll be scoring first?
He'll get the first chance to score first. It's an incredibly light scenario. Krueger is a very potent scenario caster, so it's probably wise to let Martyn go first, claim a lot of board space. Even though Haley3, she does like to play the slow grind. So it looks like, so list-wise, let's run through Martyn's list as he's unpacking it. So we've got Celestial Fulcrum at the top, which is the circle battle engine with a bunch of boostable guns. There is a Stone Shaper just below it, a Wild Weird. And then still in the deployment zone at the moment is a Wold Warden, Krueger, Megalith and a Guardian. And then that's just run up is his second Wold Warden. There's a unit of Shifting Stones with the unit attachment. The unit attachment gives them prowl and bigger command range mainly. So then we've got further down the bottom next to the wall we've got Sentry Stone and the Mannequin, and then it looks like Martyn's other Stone Shapers there, and then way down south next to Martyn's dice tray is his Black Cloud Wayfarer, presumably ready to jump on that flag when he gets the chance. On Anthony's side, from the bottom we've got a full unit of Storm Lances. It looks like Thorn is down at the bottom.
Yep.
In there. And then we've got presumably Junior's Firefly a little bit above that, and then there's Ragman, the Reliant, Haley3, and Strangewayes in the middle there behind the rock. And then there's the two Storm Towers up at the top, and then the second unit of Storm Lancers.
So what do you think that Martyn's play for this game is going to be? Do you think it's going to go for a scenario win with a castle like Krueger?
So Haley3 is tough to play attrition against because you've got revive, and Storm Lance is a very good high value revive target, in that you can't activate with them the turn you bring them back, but they have if you can keep them alive the turn after you bring them back, then actually they get quite a lot of work done the turn after. The only problem from Martyn's side is he doesn't have a lot that can dig really deep to get that last Storm Lance at the back. So I don't know if it might come down to it'll be a scenario fight either way, but it depends on how hard they can both stop the other from contesting their flag and their rectangular zone. I think the circle in the middle will be tough with that forest in the middle. So if we do a quick terrain recap for anyone who didn't see the first round, at the bottom we've got a wall, which is an obstruction. There's a hill on the left, there's a wall on the right, massive forest in the zone, blocking line of sight and making things difficult. There is a rock obstruction to the left, a hill just above that, and then on the right hand side there is a water effect and some burning earth, which the Wild Warden is sheltering behind at the moment.
Who do you think that forest is more of a problem for? Do you think it's more of a problem for the Haley player? The forest in the centre is more of a problem for the Haley player than the Krueger?
So I think it's probably a problem for both of them, in that it gives a good bunker for Haley and the heavies to hang out around, and that So Krueger's got gallows, which is quite good for dragging in heavies.
Yep.
But when the heavy is in rough terrain, it's dragged half distance, so it makes it a little bit. And then the flip side is that. Oh, sorry. And then the flip side is Haley3's also got Ghost Walk, so if she needs to, the forest is not really going to slow down her heavies or her infantry when she needs it to.
Yep.
Baby Haley and Granny Haley are also incorporeal, so normally being incorporeal is quite a boon. However, Bones of Orboros, the theme for, has magic weapons.
Lots of them. I mean, those Sentry Stone sprays themselves.
Yeah, like the Fulcrum's magical, the World Weird gets purgation against things with upkeep spells. So whilst normally you might want to put Arcane Shield on Haley Prime's unit to make them and the Echoes a little bit more survivable against one or more World Weirds, you probably don't want to, because that just makes the Echoes a liability, and that the very cheap World Weird can just shoot them, kill them basically.
Yeah.
Bad. So it looks like Anthony kind of trying to set up to mitigate. You don't want to concede too much of an alpha. So it looks like he's trying to use this forest to limit what can get into his heavy. Haley Prime looks like she's put out her Echoes. So then we've got. Oh, looks like we've got Laddermore at the top. The second Storm Tower's down the bottom.
Right. Okay. So Storm Tower on either side, on either flank.
Yeah. Hard to tell. Large bases and they're all green. So then we've got the bottom Storm Lancers moving into position. Trying to utilise elevation to try and mitigate the mannequin sprays, I think. And like the one thing Martyn didn't do that he possibly could have done is he could have killed one of his own mannequins during his turn 1, which affords him better placements for the mannequins. As in, at the moment, Anthony knows where all the mannequins are and he knows where they're going to be. Whereas if Martyn kills one of his own mannequins during his turn 1, then that affords him the ability to place that mannequin in a good spot where it can aim and spray something.
Very good. Just checking that the sound level's okay out there. If you just drop a comment on the YouTube, let us know.
Yeah, well, wherever you're following us, if there's feedback, if we're too quiet, too loud, let us know and we can correct it for your enjoyment.
Talk to me about that battle engine, Ryan. So what kind of threat can that circle battle engine bring to this army? Because obviously Anthony's being quite cautious there with what he can put in range of it.
Yeah, then so the thing with the Fulcrum is it's quite a potent shooting platform, and now that it can, since it came out of the CID, it's able to effectively leech the fury off your beast in much the same way as the caster would. So it affords your world a little bit more ability to get work done. But its longest range gun is the lightning gun, which obviously the Storm Lancers couldn't care less about.
Yep. Oh. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Very good. Anthony's just letting us know that the dice by the clock is the turn marker, so we use something else to mark. Oh, there we are. Ryan's using the red one as the turn marker, and the black ones will be points scored. We must have the system complete.
Yeah, just correcting their dices. So it looks like Martyn trying to work out where he can place that World Warden and see if he can get a valuable gallows somewhere. Like Krueger's feat is one of those it's a very strong scenario feat, but it's very easy to throw it away too early.
Just to remind anyone who doesn't know the wording of it, I'll just bring up Krueger's feat, which is enemy models currently in Krueger's control range are pushed 3 inches directly away from Krueger in the order you choose. Affected models suffer -2 speed for 1 round.
So the way that normally shakes out is that with Krueger, you kind of want to be. It's very easy to move up, pot feet, push things away, and then you just make them a little bit slower for next turn. Whereas, ideally, you want to be able to get some work done, kill some things, and then push away the remaining models and make it a little bit harder to get a good reprisal. But I think Anthony kind of trying to mitigate that, and look how widely spread his forces are. In that, like, the topmost Storm Lance is about 6 inches away from the board edge, and the bottommost Storm Lance, so probably playing over about 2.5, 3 foot of the board. So that should mean that wherever Martyn goes, with Krueger to get a push from the feet, that Anthony will still have some stuff that is outside that feet to get some good reprisals. So Martyn obviously isn't going for the early feet here. He's lining up on the zone with all his quite sturdy walls, knowing that Anthony probably spread his Storm Lance is a little bit too wide, and that Martyn can capitalise on that by not putting too much into their threat ranges.
It's probably worth Martyn saving the feet until a turn where he can actually score, because this is the top of 2, so he wouldn't actually score any points.
Absolutely, he's got
at the end of his turn anyway.
So from Martyn's perspective, even though Martyn is going first, he still needs to be. Ideally, he still needs to be threatening to score his zone and his flag to ensure that Anthony has to put something into contest. Like if Martyn doesn't put something on his bottom flag, Anthony doesn't have to put something within 4 inches of that flag. So possibly worth giving up like a Stone Shaper solo maybe, because the Wayfarer is a little bit more important in this matchup than the Stone Shaper solos. Like all the walls can hit and kill Storm Lancers anyway, whether they're arcane shielded or not. So like the battle engine in the top zone will already threaten to score that. So we've got Fulcrum spraying down one of the Storm Lancers on the hill. Looks like possibly set the other one on fire.
You'll see that Anthony hasn't actually taken off the board, because I think we'll be seeing that Stormlance coming back next turn.
Yeah, go revive.
Looks like it may be just out.
So with the World Weird at the top, it looks like Arcane Shield has gone on the bottom Storm Lances to avoid the purgation we were talking about earlier. So World Weird moving up and taking some pot shots.
Not a great damage roll.
Dice are declining to let the World Weird kill the Storm Lance. Bit enthusiastic with the dice, trying to land them in the tray. So again, Martyn charging in with the mannequins, with the Sentry Stone. So I do wonder if this is maybe overly aggressive use of a Sentry Stone for Martyn, because Sentry Stone's about, if you can keep the Sentry Stone safe, behind like that house at the bottom, just being able to feed a mannequin into contest every turn makes it very difficult.
Because they can come
for
back.
Anthony to maintain a control point lead.
Whereas Anthony will probably now be thinking how he can take out, that unit.
Absolutely, and that perhaps with Thorn, with a reaction drive first and then a couple of focus, he can possibly get into that Sentry Stone and then removes that, so then he can control that bottom zone a little bit.
So Sentry Stone has put the forest down, giving it stealth because it has prowl. So it's making it a little bit harder, but I don't think that's impossible though.
Yeah, so it means the storm towers can't really shoot it. Like the storm towers, so they have lightning generator, so that can kill D3 models with electrolyte, but the main shot is power 14, which obviously won't get. Gives the stone with stealth, so that's quite good. So I think Martyn's kind of trying to set up so that Anthony has to give him something.
So it's his bottom of 2 now, so Anthony can start scoring.
It looks like the fire went out on the Stormland.
Oh dear.
It's like Krueger sat in the middle of the table, probably Windstorm up, I would imagine. So Windstorm is his, it was his signature spell until...
Someone else got it now.
Until Old Witch 2 and 3 dropped. So it used to be called Stormwall. And Martyn is now called Windstorm. So within his control range, enemy models making ranged attacks suffer -5 range, and if you're firing AoE, after determining the distance that it deviates, Krueger can choose which direction it goes, which is quite relevant when Anthony's got Reliant, which has got quite a good AoE denial that could possibly prevent mannequins from running into contest. So if he forgets about Windstorm and then is out of range, that will then scatter. And then Krueger can choose which way it goes. So if he gets a big distance scatter,
he can
put
choice of
it
targets
somewhere
then.
that makes it less inconvenient for him, so that sounds alright.
That's good. And what do you think Anthony will be wanting to do with Haley3's feet in this game?
Pardon?
What do you think Anthony will want to do with Haley3's feet in this game? How will that come into
So
play?
I think, this turn I think Anthony has to score 2 this turn, absolute minimum. I don't think he can score 3, because I don't think he can control, I don't think he can clear out that central zone. He just can't bring enough to bear on those 3 to 4 heavies. So if I was in Anthony's shoes, I would expect to see possibly Thorn or the Reliant trying to go and kill that sentry stone. When the sentry stone dies, the mannequins go with it, so that means they're no longer jamming the storm lancers, which means the storm lancers can then go and kill that Wayfarer on the flag. The only problem Anthony's got is he doesn't really have much to capitalise on Martyn's flag. As in, if you look at Martyn's array of forces, they're weighted quite heavily from the middle and his right hand zone. So if Anthony can kill the sentry stone, the black club Wayfarer that's on the flag, and the stone shaper that's behind the wall, then Martyn kind of has to start feeding heavies in to contest that flag, which is not ideal.
Then things start to go really downhill from that point.
Yeah, I think it looks like Martyn would be looking to clear his zone, the centre zone, and possibly Anthony's flag. Just because Haley3 likes to spread a storm lancers out to limit reprisals, so if Krueger can get a good feat, then he can possibly shove off those the storm lancers, and then that Wayfarer that's behind the fulcrum can run and claim that flag. So Anthony's rolling some dice for
so
killing the mannequin with Thorn by the looks of it.
So he hasn't gone for trying to get the sentry stone itself. I'll look at it.
Not yet. It looked like he might try and do it with the storm lancers, like the bottommost storm lance to the right on the hill. Seems to have quite a good charge lane between those 2 mannequins onto the sentry stone.
So what do you think he's going to see? Well, he's going to score with the light warjack in the bottom
So
zone.
he's got Thorn in his bottom zone. moving in with the Firefly to poke a mannequin, because why not?
Yeah. Probably put Laddermore on the flag at the top.
Looks like Laddermore's up there to claim the top flag.
Oh, this is oh no.
Used the wrong horse.
Right.
Must be hard being a Cygnar player using the wrong horses, especially when we're all painted the same.
Yeah.
So then we've got the Storm Tower shooting another mannequin. So we've got the D3 bounces for the Storm Tower by the looks of it. So mannequin died, the flag takes the bounce. 18 is probably enough to kill the Wayfarer. I think they're armor 13.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, enough to kill him, and that's 17 on the Stone Shaper, which will leave him on one box. Not bad for a cheap Storm Tower's activation.
Is that the Storm Tower, yeah? Gosh.
High value.
And now we charge into the Sentry Stone.
So again for the impact.
Yeah, impact.
Yeah, you're going for the impact.
Hits. Another one probably get impact as well. No, he's just going for the reach.
I think he's probably not going for more than one impact because he'll start hitting his own
Get his own
horses.
way.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. So then the rest of the lances run up. Then this is his insurance pony in the middle.
Yep. Because you wouldn't want to lose a whole unit.
Rolling a lot of dice for assault shots rather than just skip to the juicy melee attacks.
Oh, that's a good damage roll. And things are still going south at the on Martyn's left-hand side, with Anthony having cleared the Sentry Stones. Reposition now.
So he doesn't have a lot to benefit from. Like, I think Anthony needs to consider running Arlan this turn. He's got Arlan down there in the just to the top left-hand corner of the bottom rectangular zone. So if Arlan, I'm not sure if Arlan's already activated, but if not, he absolutely needs to run and stand on that hill behind the lances, because I think that's Anthony's best insurance play to score Martyn's flag.
Yes, yeah.
Next, so he's not going to score it this time.
But then Arlan would run from the hill to connect with the flag and score there.
That'd be the premise. You need to get within, say, speed 5, you need to get very close to it. Kid will be pushed away from it, and then he's only got a 6-inch run to get to it.
Yeah. So
Martyn measuring out the undergrowth from Megalith. Which undergrowth is cost 2. It's, I think Megalith is the only war beast with that animus. It makes 5 inches, I think 5 inches rough terrain.
So, while within 5 inches of the spellcaster, enemy models treat open terrain as rough terrain and suffer -2 defense, and that's for 1 round. So
yeah, the -2 defense is very relevant for playing against Haley3 because it'll effectively offset the temporal distortion defense buff. And the rough terrain is, well, it looks like it might be irritating for the Stormlancer because Haley can't afford to really be casting Ghost Walk just to get her Stormlancers where they want to go. I have no sympathy for a Cygnar player being forced to play the game that the rest of us play, so that's fine. Definitely not bitter at all.
No. Although we are definitely not people who can complain about Ghost Walk. So.
No, absolutely not. Two Grix players. On the plus side, Cygnar players don't have Scarlets to cast it for free.
I know.
Probably for the best. So, Anti being quite cautious with the Reliant, probably more cautious than I would choose to be, I think.
Yeah. What do you think a stronger or more aggressive play with the Reliant would be at this point?
I think I'd be a little bit more aggressive and try and get it into, try and run it into that forest so that then the whole of its base is in the forest. At which point, if Krueger tried to push it out of the zone, the half movement means it will still be in the zone, but outside of the forest. So I do want to be in the forest enough that you're not going to get pushed out of the zone, but that you get pushed out of the forest.
Yes. Yeah.
He has got TK, which does make it harder, but at least then you can force some...
You're forcing a lot of focus there and his feet to get out. Yeah.
So it looks like Anthony has passed turn, scored 2.
He hasn't moved Arlan up right at the bottom of the screen by the dice tray.
I think that's his Laddermore dismount.
Oh, right, okay.
I think to the left of his dice tray, Laddermore dismount.
Right.
I think.
But we're talking about moving an Arlan up so that he'd be able to contest
it looks like,
score the flag next time, which hasn't
I think
happened.
he may have activated Arlan before Thorn to get an extra focus in there, maybe.
Right, yeah. Martyn thinking of a way to clear the flag now?
Yeah, the problem... one of the problems that Andy could have optimised his Stormland repositions a little bit better, I think, and so he's got like the one that's base to base with the flag, and then there's the one that's just to the left of it, whereas the one that's to the left could have repositioned to be base to base between the house and the Stormlancer, so then neither of them would get pushed away by the feet. Which then means Martyn has to kill them if you want to score that flag with the Stone Shaper, which then draws the heavy away from the centre zone and the top zone.
Just getting some feedback that you could be a bit louder, so I'll just turn it so it's a bit more directional into the mic.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm louder or you're louder?
I'm louder. They want to hear you.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, so yeah, it's past to Martyn's turn, so basically Martyn's absolutely got to capitalise this turn. Between Krueger's feet and just general attrition, I think the only thing Martyn can't really kill is that Reliant, but Krueger's feet will push it out of the zone. So I think that's less of an issue. If I was in Martyn's shoes, I would probably be looking to kill that Stormlancer closer, the Firefly, and then maybe start trying to whittle down the Stormlancer so that you're not suffering too much on attrition the turn after Krueger's feet.
So what do you think that Martyn will score this turn?
So
He'll definitely score. He'll score the top rectangular.
I think Martyn could and should score 3 this turn.
Okay.
Because Anthony hasn't contested that bottom flag particularly effectively. If Anthony had contested that bottom flag better with the Stormlancers, then I think he could have limited Martyn scoring 3, maybe limit Martyn to scoring 2. I don't think as well that Martyn's got. I don't think he's got great options for scoring Anthony's flag either.
Yeah.
I think if I was in Martyn's shoes, I would have had the 2 Stone Shapers down at the bottom to score that flag and keep the Black Club Wayfarer up near the top flag. because with the sentry stones you get the benefit of phase jump. So you can teleport the stone 8 inches, so that the stone is within 2 inches of where the Wayfarer will walk to. So the Wayfarer then walks 6 inches, phase jumps another 12. So you've effectively got an 18-inch move with a free solo.
Nice.
So you can keep that Wayfarer really safe, and then just basically bounce it onto the flag at the right time to score a point. And the fact that Anti's flag is on a hill means that you probably have to commit to melee to kill that Wayfarer.
So is that a gallows move?
Looks like a gallows from the World Warden on the Stormlance. So gallows is effectively a threat extender, if you like, but it's a range 10, cost 3. But for a World Warden with Geomancy, they just force for 1.
Yep.
Magic ability 7 or 6? Magic ability 6, so if you think of it as a force, and then they can get a rat 6, range 10, power 13, which is actually not terrible. Krueger needs to generate Fury for himself and the Fulcrum anyway, so actually the Wardens and Magle's Thrownouts and Gallows, effectively using them as pseudo guns is not the worst use of them.
Yep.
Krueger's other offensive spells that he could use is Lightning Storm, which is not terribly effective against Storm Division when the theme benefit is everything gets electrical immunity.
Yep.
So I can't imagine we'll be seeing many Lightning Storms cast this game.
I don't think we will. No. It's not quite as sad as the Cygnar on Cygnar mirror match, but it's pretty close.
No, it's more interesting.
Just a rundown of Krueger's spell list. It is Gallows, Lightning Storm, Rebuke, Telekinesis, and Windstorm. It just makes him a beast of a control caster, really.
Absolutely. I'm wondering whether we'll see Martyn, because what Anthony's done is one of the Stormlances in the bottom unit. It's incredibly close to Krueger, would give Krueger a very good opportunity to get Rebuke on that unit. So as long as Martyn doesn't kill that, as long as he doesn't kill that Stormlance too early, then that gives him the opportunity to easily get a Rebuke on that unit, which will then really limit their ability to get work done next turn. Haley3 does have Repudiate to knock off Rebuke. However, Krueger hasn't really got a lot better to be doing with his Fury. So if he can cast a Rebuke and a Windstorm, and then still be relatively safe, then it'd be worth doing it just to dictate some of Haley3's focus usage. Because as soon as Haley3 is casting Repudiate, that's 1 less revive, that's 1 less horse in the back next turn.
Just going to get in and say a quick good morning to Benny Pang, who's posted on the YouTube, obviously just getting out of bed. Again, the horses are going off the table, but they're not leaving the gameplay area because they'll be coming back.
It looks like the Wildbird going in and shooting putting some shots into the Purgation, using Purgation to get 4 dice. But 4 dice don't matter when you can't roll for toffee.
Oh, that's a good roll. 665.
So for those who don't know, Purgation is it's an ability rolled with a couple of other models have. That if you attack a model with an upkeep on it, you get an additional dice to hit and damage. So because the rolled with is a Warby, you can boost on top of that. So for the I was reading on there's a beginner's guide to Warmachine somewhere where they do a point versus cost assessment for the World Weird.
Oh, right.
As in the cash cost and the point cost.
Right.
And the World Weird is one of the like the best bang for buck in terms of it's a very cheap wall piece to buy, it's a good pointed, and it's very effective on the table. So hence there's a lot of circle players running
Bones.
yeah, running 2 or 3 fold Warriors just for the boostable power 12 shooting. There we go, we're seeing the World Warden at the bottom there, making sure it's within 4 inches of that flag. Just to ensure that he's contesting. So that World Warden is also base to base with the wall, which means Baby Haley can't force hammer him off of the flag. So he'll always be contesting.
That is a very good play. That's a very good play. I've not seen that.
However, the World Warden does also have Wild Growth as anonymous, which stops him being moved anyway. So I'm surprised that Martyn didn't do that.
Maybe he's just worried about Fury management.
Yeah, I do wonder if Martyn. It looked like Martyn. Oh, here we go. It's Krueger.
I can smell her feet. I really hope he remembers to move the model on behind the wall over to
yeah,
score
I think
flag.
you want to ensure we've got a proxy base coming out now to make sure that Krueger is going to be pushing the models he needs to push. So the main one to ensure, I think, is that Firefly. To make sure it gets pushed. So this is a telekinesis, it looks like. Yeah, 2 for the telekinesis.
It's 14-inch control area. Is that right?
14-inch control air, 3-inch push.
One thing about this feat, it does eat up your clock a little bit.
It does use up a lot of clock, as in, especially if you're playing against like something like Cricks or Grim Kim playing Bump in the Night with Dreadrots and Hollow Men, anything like that. Is, like Krueger's feat often comes up as whose clock is it on, who should be doing what. I think it comes down to a little bit of common sense, as in if the models are close enough, you do it yourself. Otherwise, you both kind of cooperate.
Yeah, you can see them kind of working together here, so that's the kind of best way to do it.
Ultimately, it comes down to kind of being reasonable about it, and that it's not a game that we're looking to like get gotchas and win based on a gotcha. You want a fair fight, and you want to be decent about it in the process.
One of my approaches to take backs and things when people say, oh no, you can take that back, I'll usually say no, because there'll be a time where a good player, I'll come up with against a good player who will be able to capitalise on that, and I need to be able to make sure that I can own my mistakes.
There's 2 schools of thought on. There are some things which are genuine takebacks, where there's something that has impacted your ability to do something. So something like stealth, where you auto miss because you're out of range. Like that for me is not an allowable. As in, if you shoot at something that's stealth and the attack is valid, then it misses and you resolve that. Whereas if you're trying to cast a spell at something with Spell Ward, the rules say you can't do that. So you rewind back to the last legal state, and then, which is before you cast the spell, and then you go, well, I'll cast at something else instead. Because you've effectively got to a legal board state. There we go. So there we go. Martyn is gonna. Doing another telekinesis with Krueger, by the looks of it. One thing as well worth bearing in mind here is that it looks like Martyn hasn't cast Windstorm. He doesn't really need Windstorm. Krueger has an ability called Sheltered Hand, I think, which gives models in his command range immunity lightning. So as long as Krueger isn't getting meleeed by things, then he's quite safe camping none. Because Anthony's shooting is all electrical based.
Yeah. Another reason it's a very good drop into Cygnar.
The Fulcrum also has innate electrical immunity, so it looks like Martyn's moving up the Fulcrum to try and kill off the Stormblade Captain.
Yep. Ryan's going to have a quick clock check, and we'll just work out how many points Martyn's going to score. 1, 2, 3 point system.
So just had a quick clock check. Anthony is on 38 minutes, Martyn is on 28 minutes. So Anthony is ahead on time at the moment, but Martyn will be ahead on control points in a moment.
Only just really, it'll be equal, because I don't think he's got anything to contest that bottom rectangular zone, which Anthony's going to score.
Absolutely, no, good point. Martyn has nothing to contest that bottom zone with. In which case I'll go to 3-3. The only problem is that Anthony may, it won't be very easy to retaliate meaningfully this turn, because so a lot of Anthony's damage output is dependent on Storm Lances and Ragman. So Ragman is just to the left of that rock. So he's been pushed back by the feet. So he's only speed 4. So he can't actually move very far to apply his Dark Shroud debuff. And whilst the recent hit, they have a ton of boxes. So I don't think the only problem I think Martyn might have next turn is that if Anthony can kill that stone shaper at the bottom, then Martyn's option to score that flag run out other than Krueger.
Yep.
Which then means Krueger can't really impact that top zone with his spells. So there we go, score goes to 3-3. So the level pegging. That's what we were saying earlier about the sentry stone, as in if the sentry stone hadn't been committed to aggressively, Martyn would have been able to keep it safe behind that house, feed a mannequin into the bottom zone to contest, which would have then meant he'd been one ahead on scenario. So I think the thing here for Anthony, this is probably Haley's feet turn, because it affords the echoes and baby extra focus, so they can get in the zone and be really quite durable, as well as me Granny can throw out more revive, so I think they can get two revive from Grandma and 1 to 2 revives from Haley Prime.
Yeah, just to run down the feats for anyone who doesn't know what that does. Arcane Singularity. The models in this unit currently in this model's control range gain +2 focus for 1 turn and immediately gain 2 focus points.
Yeah, so the extra camp is probably as relevant as anything else, in that they can be, so they'll go up to defense 18 under distortion, and then back down to defense 16 if Megalith uses undergrowth, which is then very doable for Megalith to punch baby Haley in the face, which is about as much as she deserves.
Oh, we've got a judge call up. The question is, can you go down to a speed of 0? So Ryan, can you go down to a speed of 0? that
Yeah,
the
you
question?
can,
Yeah.
you can. So it's a storm tower that got pushed away by Krueger2. So he's gone down to speed 0, it means he can't actually move or run or... So I suspect when that storm tower activates, he will probably aim, because he can't move anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon. So we've got Anthony here trying to salvage something from this turn, and he's sure he can contest.
Yeah, so he's already going to score that zone. He just needs to get something onto the flag to score the top one. Do you hope that they will change spread the net?
So spread the net is so the good thing of spread the net is that it's an incredibly live scenario, and it forces you to engage with the scenario, which absolutely I think is the direction that Steamroller 17 needs to go. My only reservation is that you have to overextend a little bit too far to get the flags. So I think if we see Steamroller 17, I think the flags either need to move closer to the centre of the table, or possibly the flags get replaced with objectives,
which
so
can
then
be
you
removed.
can only ever get one from the enemy objective. So then you're almost fighting in a diagonal line across the 3 zones, where you kind of push harder on your side with the objective. I also think maybe if they put the flags on the opposite side of the circular zone, then that would work. So then you've got a flag in front of you, but it's only 12 inches away from the enemy flag.
Yeah.
So then it's still forcing you into the middle. And you still have a lot of ways to aggressively score, but you don't have to overextend quite as far, because I think this scenario can especially punish going second if you're against an especially fast lift.
Yeah.
So if you're playing against, say, Spread the Net against Witchcov and Dark Coast.
Yeah.
So if those Bane Riders get to run their full 14 inches turn 1, they're already threatening a ton of board space. So then you have to come into their threat range to be relevant to the scenario.
Yeah.
So I think if you move the flags, then it's you don't have to go as far.
Perfect. Thank you. Just a quick catch up with the game. Laddermore's moved on to the flag at the top so that Anthony can score that. And one of the riders was revived by Haley3 and brought back into the lower unit.
It looks like Haley Prime has been and done Haley Prime things, bring back dead horses. So here's Anthony going to try and kill that last solo down the bottom, which will limit Martyn's ability to score that. I'm quite surprised to see that when Martyn moved the shifting stones up, he didn't move them in such a way that Krueger would be able to
Teleport.
activate, advance, and then teleport onto the flag at the end of the turn.
Yes, yeah, I can see
So
that.
that he can still do his shenanigans. And I think the main priority here for Anthony is to ensure that World Guardian doesn't get into Thorn. Because Thorn's biggest boon is dodge. The Guardian's got knocked down on the rams. So if Thorn gets knocked down, Thorn's dead in the water.
And just to be clear, because everything's green, Thorn is the jack in the zone, is that on the circular zone? Is that correct?
That is the Firefly.
That's the Firefly in the
So
circular
Thorn
zone.
is in the left-hand zone.
There we are, kind of midway on Anthony's side of that rectangular zone.
Yeah, it looks like you've got focus on him, so probably not activated yet. So we've got the top Storm Lancers about to go. I'm expecting we'll see a run from them.
To contest the...
Absolutely, one of them needs to contest that top zone.
There it goes.
Here we go, one running to toe that zone. And then the leader running to make sure he's in command so that he can contest.
Do you think one of them will drop back, or do you think they're far enough back at the moment? They won't lose the unit.
The other one looks like he's out of command, so stay where he is.
Okay.
Excuse me. We got the looked like the Squire there, making sure he's within run range of the flag.
Yep.
Squire is still, this shows just how far away models can be and still threaten to score that flag. So, like that Squire is still pretty much in Anthony's deployment zone, but still threatening to score that flag.
Yeah.
And then we've got Junior down at the bottom there, moving down to presumably threaten to score Martyn's flag.
And
there you go, Anthony passes turn, goes to 5-3. So I think this is the time Martyn's really got to capitalise, and that Anthony's had to effectively waste activation to get models in the zone to contest. So
this is turn 4, isn't it? So I might go and just. Do you want to do a clock check as well?
Yeah, so this is the turn that Martyn's really got to put the game to bed. So if you look at the top, there's Laddermore on the flag, which is fine. But then in Martyn's zone is one of the Stormlands. To the left of the top flag is another Stormland, and then just above the rock at the bottom is the last Stormland in that unit.
So you just need to get rid of that unit.
I would almost be tempted to ignore Laddermore.
Yep, okay.
Ignore Laddermore, contest with the Fulcrum or a heavy on that flag, because Laddermore won't kill. She can't kill a Fulcrum itself
No.
on her own. And if he can wipe out that top unit of Stormlands, it's like Martyn lost the sentry zone at the bottom, and he runs out of easy ways to contest that top zone.
So this is Martyn just clearing his rectangular zone here.
Punching a horse in the face like you do.
Yeah, go until the RSPCA. Don't worry, horse lovers, it'll come back.
Moving the Death Stormland down to the stable at the bottom.
So it's just gallowing the Stormlands closer.
And maybe so the
Fulcrum can get in.
Fulcrum can aim, yeah.
Yep.
If the Fulcrum can aim, you can put the spray shot into the Stormland and then the fire shot into Laddermore. Maybe kill the dismount with the fire.
Yep. And it's that rider that he's pointing at the moment. He needs to clear that one in order to wipe the unit. How do you think he's going to go about doing that?
I don't think Martyn can clear the
whole unit.
I don't think he can clear the bottom unit. He can clear the top unit.
What can he clear the top unit? That one. Which
So I think he can kill that last Stormland next to the rock with either the World's Weird and or a gallows from Megalith.
Yep.
He's also got a possible rock hammer from the Stone UA. Here we've got the Guardian going in on the Firefly. Martyn's going to roll some dice in an attempt to kill that 8-point light. It's kind of a token gesture rolling the dice. It's more how many attacks it takes to kill the Jack rather than whether he's going to kill the Jack. So he's knocked down and he's shoving him around like a ragdoll with Ram because he can.
Yeah.
When you speed 4, I guess a Ram is extra movement. So
it is, he's getting that beast deeper into his lines. And as we mentioned that, the closer that beast gets to Thorn, the better it is for Martyn.
Absolutely, and I wonder if he's hoping not to kill the Firefly too quickly. Yeah, so that he can get the World Guardian into the zone as well.
Oh, that would be nice.
Problem is that the World Guardian with PNS 18, so he's running at dice +2.
And that was a big roll.
Yeah,
he's just smashed him. Yeah. Now it looks like one more move would have done it.
Yeah, darn, killed it too quickly.
Damn. Too good.
Blames CID for the strength buff on the Guardian. Killing the Firefly too quickly.
PP, you're ruining the game.
So I think what we'll probably see is that World Warden needs to go in, has to go into that bottom zone to
Yeah, to contest.
just to contest.
It's a shame because then it leaves that well, there's not much which can score that flag on either side, really. Now. So it's fine.
So I've got Megalith going in, shuffling around probably to 2k the Reliant back out. They've gone for Undergrowth first, a Geomancy by the looks of it, and then a boost. Oh, that's a poor roll, still gets it.
And out it goes. That's another point for Martyn.
Facing the wrong way as well, why not?
Does he wonder whether he can aim?
Checking the charge range on the World Warden. Just picking models up and moving them out of the way, which is kind of what Krueger does.
Yep. Let's do within 4 there.
They're making sure within 4 to contest the Martyn, trying to ensure that even though he can't score his flag, trying to make it as hard as possible for Anthony to score it. So even though Anthony's got Junior ready to run to that flag, he's still got to kill the World Warden to do it.
Yeah.
We're going for a
Looks like a low roll.
Geomancy Gallows with some rubbish dice. Moving on.
Don't look at it.
From John Martyn, one of the Scottish guys. So John Martyn has just commented on my my excellent commentary. Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Apparently I was born to do commentary.
I agree, Ryan. I agree.
Yeah. Missed opportunity in my life, I'm sure.
A few comments from the YouTube. Lord Rock, is that Ragman behind the big rock?
Yes, it is. It's Ragman. Just above the big rock is Haley3.
Yep. And just a comment for Sandin.
Haley3 versus Krueger2. This matchup seems miserable for all involved. Absolutely agree, but can't you be sure they deserve each other?
Says the Cricks players. Krueger's shuffling around.
So what we got now? We've got Krueger. Krueger shuffling around. Practicing a truffle shuffle in the woods. Gonna see.
Nothing's better than a Rash F truffle shuffle. I'll tell you that.
Surprised to see he didn't TK the World Guardian into Andrew's zone.
Yes. That
I don't know if he forgot or because he was measuring the 3 inches out of the wood.
There is now, if I see it right, there's nothing which can contest that rectangular zone now.
Absolutely.
That could come back to bite him.
So the problem there is if Martyn doesn't contest, then so Martyn will score
He'll
his
score 2.
rectangular zone and the circular zone, so he'll go to 5. Anthony will go to 6, possibly 7 if Anthony forgets to, Martyn forgets to score the flag.
Yeah.
Which would then put him 2 ahead, which would afford him a reasonable opportunity to
Close the game out on the next
score
turn.
3 next turn and win. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
No, Fulcrum says no. You may not score this flag on my turn.
you shall not pass.
The Gandalf of Battle Engines.
Oh, he's trying to get that last. Well, he's measuring for the last rider. Oh, rolls a 3. And he's killed that last thing, so that's now wiped that top unit of riders.
So yeah, that's the whole unit of ponies gone. Staying in the stable permanently. Just leaves Laddermore on the flag with a good roll.
Good hit. Probably on fire now as well.
And that goes the rather not. So with that, it looks like so Martyn will score
2.
The 2 zones, so it goes to 6-5.
Yes, it's there somewhere.
Anthony's struggling with my dice. So that's 6-5 to Anthony at the moment.
7. He's not going to be able to get rid of the Fulcrum, I don't think.
So I think we're seeing the same problem we saw in the first game, in that whilst Anthony's getting ahead on control points, he's kind of running out of juice a little bit in terms of what he can actually kill. So what I'm expecting to see here is the Reliant need to get fueled. Ragman is probably going to shuffle up, drop some Dark Shroud. So it looks like Anthony messed up, and neither Arlan nor Junior are in run range of the enemy flag. So
I think he may have. Actually, no, he wouldn't have struggled to kill the wolves. He's got the lances all lined up to charge.
I think Anthony possibly should have been a little bit more aggressive with Ragman, just to draw out an attack or something.
Bone shaker.
The Reliant needs fueling. With Ghostwalker should be able to get back to Megalith. And then with Deathfield should be able to possibly kill him, or at least put some good damage on him. Because Megalith is the big enabler here, and that with Undergrowth, that kind of cancels out Haley's biggest ability. So if he can kill Megalith, then Temporal Distortion becomes relevant again. So let's have a quick clock check.
And he's obviously trying to work out what he can do about that Fulcrum. Now he's probably thinking about getting Laddermore to Megalith and taking the Squire onto the flag, but it still means that the Fulcrum's going to be contesting.
Martyn's on about 16 minutes, Anthony's on 28 minutes, who's shaking his head a lot. So we've got a lot of face stroking and head rubbing, so
go for the eyes.
Anthony's obviously feeling the pressure a little bit. Just what we're saying, like we're running out of steam a little bit with what he's actually getting on. Attritional snow. So again, measuring out the Ragman. They've got some time to kill, so 12 minutes ahead on clock. So they're going to sit down and think about it a little bit. Maybe go for a wee, have a cup of tea. Got 12 minutes to spare, might as well take advantage of it.
In the meantime, we've got. Well, I'm not sure I can say the name on online. Linkatit, which is what kind of cricks are you playing against? Where you have quick matches?
So that'll be Coven Dark Code, where it just runs over you on scenario.
Ghost Fleet, when you could just assassinate.
Ghost Fleet before Denny got nerfed. Scar 1 also plays a very quick game, and if you make it to turn 4 against Scar 1, you probably won. Functionally.
I think Denny 2 can probably close out a game very quickly now.
Absolutely.
Just incorporeal, charging anywhere on the board to your face. Laddermore is moving off the flag, going into the walled weird. That means he'll probably run the Squire onto the flag.
So this is where Anthony's lack of by giving away the Storm Knights has made Laddermore's got to be in a position to contest that top zone. So I think he's going in for a charge and an impact attack, and then he'll probably reposition her into the zone.
Oh, it's a good damage roll.
Not bad.
Repo into the top zone.
Okay, reposition into the zone. So Laddermore on a pony is not trivial to kill, so that'll force some investment from Martyn. Anything like that, just having to think about it and work it out on the clock when it's down to 16 minutes is this is Anthony working out where the Reliant is going to be after moving, so that he can ensure Ragman is in the right place to Deathfield. So Deathfield is Ragman's shaking his walking stick around a little bit, which means the Reliant gains the benefit of Dark Shroud.
Yep.
Spooky thing.
And what PNS effectively does that put the Reliant to?
The other.
So, with Dark Shroud, effectively, the Reliant goes up to. I'm just bringing up the PNS 19, which is nice.
So the Reliant goes from Mat 7, PNS 17, which is okay. With Deathfield, it goes to PNS 19, which is straight dice damage on Megalith, which is still a tough ask to kill him because he's got 35 boxes, I think. So,
yeah, he's
4 attacks dice damage should leave him still probably about 20% of his boxes. So Megalith has bountiful restoration, so he heals D3 anyway, so if he's alive, between the Bones of Orboros Theme Force benefit giving him the ability to heal a point and bountiful restoration, if he doesn't die, he'll be fully operational.
Yeah.
So he probably punches
and then he'll smash a Reliant in one round.
Yeah, he probably punches the Reliant lights out.
Now, what's he measuring here?
So this is Baby Haley is going in on the Celestial Fulcrum.
Okay.
So Haley Prime is making sure she is in command range. So then Granny is making sure she's contesting the centre zone.
And can she contest even though she's a Warcaster, or?
Echoes will still contest.
Because they're solos.
So in a Warcaster unit, the caster itself doesn't contest. However, other models in the unit will. So a lot of the caster units have quite unattractive models for killing. So if you look at like Makeda 3, her unit escorts trigger battle driven and they have shield guard. Butcher 3, if you kill his dogs, that triggers vengeance, which is bad. Haley3's echoes are incorporeal, so that's quite miserable as well.
It's a lovely play, isn't it, putting one of Butcher's dogs into a zone?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that Butcher 3 will put a dog into a zone and go, if you want to score the zone, you need to kill my dog and give me vengeance. Baby Haley can't roll for toffee. So the thing here is Anthony's committing the echoes on the turn that he's hoping to kill Megalith. I don't think he can kill Megalith, but I don't think realistically he can kill Megalith.
I don't think he's going to get rid
So
of the
if he
Vulcan
can
either.
kill Megalith and commit the echoes with Temporal Distortion, then he limits Martyn's ability to kill the echoes in return. So even though maybe Haley will be corporeal, it'll make it a lot harder for
Krueger to get rid of them.
yeah, a lot harder for him to kill.
Oh, they're out of the box. Is that trip 1?
That is triple ones.
Oof.
Nice thing. So it looks like Granny's going for some shots on the fulcrum.
All in now.
Poor dice again. Just bad times. Martyn looking quite pleased with himself.
I think he's controlled the game quite well. I think he's been able to...
Yeah, absolutely. And it wasn't great odds anyway for Baby soloing the fulcrum, not without Dark Shroud anyway. Which is why I think maybe he should have moved Ragman a little bit more aggressive. He's down towards the bottom zone to get the Guardian, or up to the top zone to get the fulcrum, one or the other.
Yeah. So here we've got Reliant going in on Megalith. It's going to be straight dice damage.
Reliant is going to need
Get some spikes here.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Is it better to just buy attacks? It's better to just buy attacks.
Absolutely, it's rolling dice damage, so
2d6
sometimes against beasts, if you could knock out aspects, you might want to boost damage so that you can get plus a good roll. A few more of those. You might want to boost that, especially Conscript War Beast, because they can't be healed by the Warlock. But that's negated by Bantal Restoration and the Bones of Orboros theme benefit.
Yep.
1 second.
Yep. So it looks like we're not going to be able to take out Megalith this turn. That's another roll of 5. Yeah, there's still some white on that card, so Megalith is still alive.
Just take advantage, just as, yeah, fine.
Surprisingly, Reliant didn't manage to take out
No, we weren't really expecting him to. So we've got the, I don't think Anthony knows about Krueger's Sheltered Hand. So going for the shot on Megalith.
And it's going to do no damage because it's electrical.
That bounces.
Yeah.
Misses him anyway.
Fine.
Martyn didn't get the pleasure of explaining Sheltered Hand, that's a shame.
Martyn, if you ever get Martyn to regale you with the story he had of trying to explain the seneschal rule at the WTC to a player, where it's knocked down but you can't kill it, and then if there's a model within command range at the end of the turn it gets back up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he had to explain that a few times.
So we've got Arlan's valiantly charging the World Garden by the looks of it, and then we've got Thorn. Thorn's not going to do much, is he? Turn on the 20
score that zone.
This is quite brave, Thorn going in on the World Guardian.
Oh!
Especially when the World Guardian is the best thing for killing Thorn.
And he's missed. No, he's
so
hit.
We've got 1, 2. We've probably got at least 4 Storm Lancers that could get in on that Guardian, maybe 5.
Yeah.
There's only 4 left. That's the Storm Tower, isn't it?
That is the Storm Tower, yeah, so there's only 4.
So we've got 4 Storm Lancers, so at least 3, possibly 4.
Yeah, it depends on the angle of that
Guardian.
one furns to Anthony's side.
So Thorn is still in the rectangular zone. This is Anthony about to run Junior, looking at where the World Word is.
Yep.
Thinking maybe considering whether to put Arcane Shield on Haley's unit, but it's not worth it with the World Word still around. You can't risk it.
So he's nicely cleared the charge lanes there.
Absolutely. So we've got they've gone the Storm Lancers. There's one.
He's going to get into the back arc.
So do that one next.
Get the impact there.
Get the impact.
Nicely executed.
So then we've got 4 horses.
So resolving the charge attacks on the wall.
I think he's rolling assault shots, and I don't think Martyn remembered sheltered hand.
Yeah.
Because he's rolling 2 dice,
really
and they're not impact attacks. They'll be
They'll be the lance guns.
well, no, they won't be mounts. They'll be assault shots,
Yeah.
and they're electrical. And the Guardian is within command range of Krueger. So the assault shot shouldn't be doing any damage at all.
And they're doing a lot of damage.
So it's still going to need some good rolls, just because Guardians, Wolves in general have a ton of boxes. Dice rolls like that probably not going to cut it. Not enough.
And now it's charge attacks.
It looks like Anthony forgot the reposition in
Yeah.
the pressure of the moment.
He did roll the actual charge attacks as well, didn't he? Yeah, must have.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So
7-5. Yes, he's
So
contended.
I've
Yeah,
got
so Martyn doesn't score anything.
7-5 to Anthony's favourite. I
Yes,
think
losing the reposition was unfortunate.
what Anthony could have done with the Storm Lancers is, so the 2 right-hand most Storm Lancers could have, right forgot the reposition, could have shuffled back and off to the right, so that if that Guardian wants to go into Thorn, either risk the free strike or the Warden has to kill the Storm Lancers first.
Yeah.
And the Warden's only match 6 and their defense 13, which is not
Yeah, that makes it
not
hard.
great. But it's Haley's running out of a lot of juice, so I think check the clock.
Yeah, Ryan's gone for a clock check. It won't be difficult for Martyn to clear the top rectangular zone. There's just Laddermore in there.
So Anthony's got just under 15 minutes and Martyn's just crossing the 15-minute threshold starting his turn.
So kind of neck and neck.
Martyn absolutely has to put the game to bed this turn because he's not going to have. He's only really got one good turn this turn, and one the next really.
And is it it's turn 5 at the moment, isn't it?
It's turn 5,
Yeah.
so it's more the fact that Martyn's only got. Functionally, after this turn, he's going to have less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So he's got. Like, I think if I'm in Martyn's shoes here, I think you need to kill Laddermore, maybe Haley,
Yep.
the Squire, because the Squire looks close enough to be able to run to the top zone,
Yep.
and the Reliant. If you can get those, then I think what happens down the bottom doesn't really matter. And that
You're
like
then starting to pivot the game.
absolutely.
So he's got all the control at the top of the board.
Again, it looked like Krueger's gone in on Laddermore. Give her a little poke.
It's gone over to Anthony. Oh, yeah. Placing the Dragoon.
Yeah, so replacing the model with the dismount.
And has he been able to place it outside of Krueger's melee
I
range?
don't know. Cluck. Cluck.
There we are. We're back on the clock. And is he outside of the melee range?
Yeah, no, it looked like she's outside Krueger's melee range.
Yeah, that's played.
It's not terrible. He can TK himself back into melee with her, but it's a waste of focus, really.
Yeah, he's got enough there to kill Laddermore, I think.
Absolutely. So the Wolf, we're going to go and have a shoot her in the face.
It's a gunfighter, isn't it? Woodweird?
Woodward, yeah, they're gunfighter, so
Just blast it.
yeah, going to shoot her a little bit.
Which is now one of the ways around unyielding. Is that correct, gunfighter?
Absolutely, because you only get unyielding now from
melee
attacks. So Laddermore being a chronic pain in the backside, it seems.
Yep, sticking around.
So Martyn looking at his options for killing baby Haley by the looks of it. So she'll still be defense 18 because you've got no undergrowth over there by the looks of it. Krueger's too far
Defense
away.
18. So how did you get to defense 18?
So she starts at defense 16 because Haley3.
Oh, there's been a judge call at our table. Ryan's going to head over. Byron's over there as well. Ryan's going to come back and explain everything.
Yeah, I don't know what they're fucking about with. One thing I did just notice that we can't see here on the stream is actually just above the fulcrum is another World Warden. The other World Warden we'd forgotten about. So even if the fulcrum doesn't kill baby Haley, the World Warden can, I don't know, like TK the fulcrum out of the way and then charge Haley and try and punch her in the face.
Yep.
Not the worst plan.
It's not a bad plan. Hitting Haley? Def 18?
Yeah, so looking at 12 really, which is not great. So I got Shifting Stone shuffling up to try and block models getting into Martyn's zone next turn.
Yep, and blocking models getting to Krueger as well.
So the Shifting Stone UA looking to drop a rock hammer on Laddermore's head. Can't land it.
Hits. Oh, Laddermore.
Laddermore just hanging out in the zone, lights up, guys. Here comes the World Warden around to punch baby Haley's lights out.
Yeah. It's going to be, boosted 12s. It's difficult.
Casual boosted 12. He still had, looks like he still had 2 Fury on him from last turn, so he's got one go at it.
Has he got it?
Has he got it?
Yes.
Past 16, auto kills her.
Smoosh.
Looks like he must have been damaged already.
Possibility of Krueger porting onto that flag, I think?
No. Krueger's already been, and the Shifting Stone
but next
teleported.
turn if it goes that far.
Absolutely.
Just in terms of trying to get us all on there.
So we've got the Stone Shaper solo here, having a go as well.
This is pretty epic last stand from Laddermore here. Very impressive.
Stone Shaper solo does go up to, he's only a paltry magic 6, but he does get veteran leader from the Fulcrum. So magic 7 is not terrible.
Yep. There she goes.
Champion.
Hero. There we go. Megalith's going to
So Megalith shuffling around the Reliant's melee range to
smash the Reliant.
look like you're going to punch Granny as well.
Do you think he should try and take out Reliant first and see if he's got anything left for Granny, or go for Granny?
I think the Reliant isn't really a threat.
Okay.
Where Granny can shoot Krueger in the butt, because Krueger's facing the wrong way at the moment. That'll do. So she has got focus, so she can negate some of the damage.
A lot of damage though. Oh,
Not
even
enough,
with the focus.
Oh.
And it goes on to the Reliant.
Gonna punch the Reliant now.
I don't think Martyn will be able to. Well, he might be able to clear the circle. Unlikely though.
So, if he doesn't kill the Reliant, he only scores 1, so he goes to 6, to Anthony's 7. Looks like he doesn't kill the Reliant, in which case, I don't think Anthony can clear the, he can't clear the centre zone.
Nope.
Because he's got nothing to finish off the Reliant with. So then score 1.
Martyn will only score 1. Yeah.
Yeah, it will come down to whether Martyn can get that Guardian into Anthony's rectangular zone. So if he can get that,
He should be able to just
Guardian,
walk round.
yeah. I think so. I think he's looking at whether he can TK that Stormland to ensure the World Guardian can get around and in. No, it's just going
No, he's
for
just
the,
going to walk in.
Absolutely. Problem here is those are the last 2 Stormlancers in that unit, and Granny's just died, so we can't revive even if they don't die.
Right, okay.
So
killing the whole of the unit is not as essential as...
not essential. If you can get attacks on Granny Haley, then killing her off limits the means you can't revive. So what we got here? We've got the Guardian.
Taking out Thorn. Taking out the... And then... Nice play there, kind of following up into the zone after killing them all.
So we've got buy an attack on Thorn.
Okay. So Martyn goes up to 6.
So we've got
he
what
hasn't
we got here.
moved his. I'm just going to remind him he's up to 6.
Dodge, okay. So the World Guardian clearly missed Thorn, and Thorn's shuffled over. So it looked like it's gone to 7-6 in Anthony's favour.
I think Ryan's just doing a clock check. Ryan's been banished back to the...
Anthony's starting to turn on 13 minutes. Martyn's got about just under 6 minutes left. So with that dodge move for Thorn, I'm wondering whether we'll see Haley maybe going for an assassination on Krueger. as far as I can see, it looked like all the beasts are maxed out.
Right.
Let's have a look.
Okay. So Ryan, are all the war beasts full of fury?
All the war beasts are maxed out. There's no windstorm up. So I'm not entirely sure it's a viable assassination run.
Yeah.
The issue he's got is the lack of ghost walks since Granny died.
Yes.
So he would basically be chancing Thorn, basically walking out of combat with that Guardian and the Guardian missing. If the Guardian hits the free strike, Thorn gets knocked down and that's the assassination run over.
Yep. Any way to take out that beast? I don't see it.
I don't see that he can take that beast out. He's got Junior's hand cannon and maybe one Stormlance charge he can get in, which I don't think is anywhere near enough. It may be that Anthony hasn't seen the possibility of an assassination run. Krueger, he's even got a back arc on Krueger with most of his attacks. So Haley can put out. Has she still got Arcane Bolt?
I'll check.
I know she's got a hand cannon. And then there's a possible death field from.
So her spell list is Domination, Repudiate, Tactical Supremacy, and Temporal Distortion.
So she hasn't actually got a direct damage spell, which is a shame. In which case, the best option is. What is the best option? I can't even get Haley to just charge. Can't even get Haley.
Where's Haley now? Haley is.
Looks like Megalith. Yeah, Megalith will put up undergrowth at the same. There's Ragman there for the death field.
Okay.
It looked like there's no undergrowth out. So I just pointed out the undergrowth, so it's only going to go 3 inches rather than 6 inches. Anthony getting a little stressed there.
Yeah.
By the pressure of the game.
From here. Looks like both of the echoes have been put back into play.
So the echoes are out again because why not?
Now, is there anything that can help the assassination now that the echoes are back in play?
It doesn't afford Anthony any more options this time, but it does mean we've got more attacks next turn.
Right.
So it does mean if we can keep the echoes alive, then we've got some half decent options next turn. The problem we've got is contesting.
Yeah. Reliant's going to try and take out.
So I don't know how he's going to get anything up to that top zone. And if Anthony wants to score the bottom zone, then Thorn has to go back into that zone.
Yeah.
Reliant bashing on Megala.
Yep.
Bash him on the head, so then that makes the echoes a little bit more relevant in that now Martyn has lost access to undergrowth.
Yep. So they're now defense 18, happily.
Absolutely. There's Anthony running
Squire, is it? No.
running the Squire to be within 4 inches of the flag, which means Krueger will have to kill it with something before he can score that flag.
Yep. Now this zone, so will you have to just walk?
So whether Thorn is going
back
to...
in?
Yeah, there we go, wanders back into the zone, because why not? Have a tickle on the World Guardian. Dice don't agree. A little bit of damage. Oh, junior charge!
Charge to the junior.
Like PNS 10 or something. Needing some pretty mega dice to kill the World Guardian.
Yep. Go, charging in. Dice.
That's not great. Have another go.
Yep. Need more of those dice.
Tickle, tickle. Better. It's got to be worth a couple of points. 2-3 points, not bad.
Okay.
Good effort.
Move it in, give him a tickle. Hope he remembers reposition this time.
Rubbish.
Yeah. Nope.
Also rubbish. Good job.
No repo.
So, nobody scores. Martyn scores 1.
Martyn scores 1.
So 7-7.
7-7.
10-6.
Yeah, thank you. So Ryan's going over. So Martyn's going to score. He's going to go up to 8. I doubt he's going to be able to score the flag very easily. He's got 2 models he could TK out of the centre zone.
So we're down to 5 minutes apiece on clock. Just over 5 minutes, but Martyn's starting his turn, so...
And I was just kind of talking out loud about Martyn scoring that top rectangle and possibly quite easily being able to score the centre as well if the Warbies kills Thorn and he can just TK and Reliant out.
So I think my priorities here would be for... so the Stone Shapers run to the flag.
Yep.
So we can score that. So all Martyn's got to do there is kill the Squire.
Yep. Which you can probably do with the walls.
At which point I think. So I'm surprised Martyn.
Yeah.
I thought Martyn would do the Guardian first. So if Martyn does the Guardian first, the Guardian can possibly kill Thorn, the Stormlance Junior.
Yep.
And then the Wall's Warden would have been able to go in and kill the Stormsmith, Storm Tower.
Yep. And it also means that if the wall doesn't kill Thorn, that you could Geomancy a TK.
Absolutely.
To get Thorn out. But it's now all down to these dice rolls. At what point does he knock Thorn down? Is it when he hits
so
with his
this looked
weapon?
like the World Guardian punching the Storm Lance, there we go. In which case he's going to boost on Thorn.
He's going to reroll that.
5, 6, 7,
Yeah,
going to hit it, knocks him down.
And pushes him out.
That's shuffling him around again, but why not?
He's out of the zone, which is good for Martyn. Yeah.
So then we've got... so roll the damage, see what we get. That'll do.
Pretty good.
Auto hitting, another 9-down call force, that'll knock a Cortex out more than likely. Yeah, it looked like a Cortex and his right armor gone, so that's the spear. And his ability to get focus.
So he's going to smash this guy and then possibly TK the Reliant out from there.
I think he's probably going to punch the
Squire.
Punch the Squire and then 2K the Reliant.
Out of the zone, scoring 3. I think.
3, yeah, absolutely. He'll score the enemy flag, his zone, and the circle. 7-13, is that enough? Not enough?
It gets a bit dicey now.
That'll be the Temporal Distortion. Temporal Distortion paying dividends.
Okay, so it looks like he's given up on scoring 3, he's just going to score 2.
Absolutely.
And try and take up the... Oh, actually, he's only going to score 1.
Shuffling away.
Oh, he's going to spray onto the Squire.
Going to shoot. There goes Ragman.
Okay. So only scoring 1 that time.
Anthony's turn 6. We're down to 8-7 on scenario.
Close game.
Both trying to get a maximum game for their game.
Bang for their buck.
So we're up to what? 6-12, 15 control points combined. Not bad effort, guys.
Yeah. It's been a good game to have on the stream.
Absolutely. So again, what have we got? So he does actually have a transfer target this turn in the top World Warden. No, doesn't look like there's any fury on the top World Warden.
So you got a transfer target, so the assassination is pretty slim.
There's also a World Warden in the top zone that you can possibly transfer to.
Yeah. Haley's on her ass.
So this is Granny's already moved into the zone.
Yep.
We've got Baby Haley. Baby Haley looking to get somewhere useful.
If we strike from somewhere.
8. So that is 16, which is going to miss because Temporal Distortion.
Yep. Thank you very much, Stuff 18.
So making sure to cast Temporal Distortion before moving, otherwise that free throw would have landed. And the Warden would have punched Baby's lights out on the way past, which is probably bad.
Yep. Captain Haley's moving up, is that right?
Haley Prime is moving up, but not that far.
Just ambling around.
So the loss of Ragman is going to be felt here because Baby Haley's not going to be doing a lot without, not without Dark Shroud anyway.
Yeah. So what's Anthony's play here? He's trying to clear that flag, is he?
I think he's spreading his efforts a bit too thin. He needs to be. You need to be doing something. I think if you can clear that top zone and then get Haley Prime and then next turn, just run through all the free strikes and hope for the best. Because this game is going to go to turn 7 at the moment.
Yeah, I like it.
So Martyn is ahead. I don't think Anthony has much that he can reposition. So it looks like Haley Prime cast Tactical Supremacy on her unit, which means that they're going reposition 3. So now Granny is hanging out in Krueger's zone.
So Martyn's not going to score either of those.
And Baby Haley is just shuffling around, because why not?
Yeah. It's a shame that Anthony can't score any himself this turn.
No, so we've got the Reliant charging in on the World Warden. They're going to land his first attack. Bash him in the head.
Yep.
The thing here is, if the Reliant doesn't kill that World Warden, then normally it would be a liability, and that if the World Warden can get the chain attack smite, it can slam the Reliant straight over Haley3.
Oh, right.
Whether Martyn will see that or not, he's only got less than 5 minutes on his clock, so...
He might just play it safe and try and go for control points.
As then Martyn would have a couple of shots from the Fulcrum and a couple of shots from the World Weird, which wouldn't be terrible. I think we're seeing a charging Stormsmith.
Charging Storm Tower. This guy's running. Ready to run.
No, we're contesting with the... So contesting the far flag with that Stormsmith Storm Tower, meaning that Krueger can't just run to the flag and score it.
So nothing was scored this turn, and we are into turn 7. We are into turn 7, people. So from this point, it does look like a conclusive victory.
So they basically got both got one shot at. So that goes to Storm Lance.
Yep.
So then we've got the World Guardian. 14 is going to hit. There's no set defense.
Yep.
So this does mean that their dice Thorn. So now the World Warden is going to have a go at the Stormsmith. They're going to punch him in the face.
Yeah, and he's going to run over to there, scoring, so it's 1-2.
1-2, so the score, if he can kill... So what Martyn's done here is he's moved Krueger before doing that top World Weird, which means that top World Weird is now not going to be able to boost. So the problem is Anthony's run out of models down at the bottom
to try and contest anything. So he goes 1-2.
So he's going to score... He scores his
the
bottom zone and the flag.
Yep.
Anthony can't score. So what can Anthony score? Anthony can contest the. So Anthony can't contest the bottom zone or the bottom flag.
Yep.
So Martyn's got it on scenario.
Good game.
Because Martyn will score another two. On Anthony's turn.
Yep.
So Martyn will go to 12. And Anthony will go to... he probably can't clear the top flag. He can get the zone, the circular zone if he wants it by putting Haley3 in there.
Can he? Because I think the
Guardian at the bottom may be in there.
Might be towing that circular zone. We're done. So he goes to 6.
So that is
11 points to Martyn, I think, because he'll have the.
So Martyn will score 2. So we'll go 12. Yep. So that'll be 12-7.
12-7. Congratulations to Martyn Jenkins.